Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video lecture for English 421. Why? Technical Writing Online. This won't be a lecture in the traditional sense, but rather a walkthrough of the Blackboard course site, which will play a key role in all of our assignments and interactions this semester. This video will cover the major components of the course Blackboard site, provide a brief overview of key parts of the syllabus, and introduce the style that I will use for video lectures throughout the semester. Even if you've used Blackboard before in other classes, please watch this video anyways, as I might structure the site differently than other instructors. When you first open the Blackboard site, you will see this announcements page, which will be used to communicate information to you about assignments and expectations. Urgent or time-sensitive information will be communicated first through email and then posted as an announcement. You can see the only announcement here so far is a text version of this Blackboard walkthrough. I will make weekly announcements updating you on deadlines, introducing activities or assignments, and providing further instructions. I will also send versions of those announcements to you via email. The first part of the website that I want to take a look at is the course calendar. From the homepage, use the menu on the left side to navigate the rest of the site. Open up the course calendar. The most important part of this site is the calendar because it includes all the deadlines for each unit. Clicking on each entry of the calendar will open up a more detailed description of the assignment or event, as well as information about the specific deadline and instructions. For instance, I ask you to post an introduction to yourself on the course forums during the first day of class. If you click on that, you'll see the event description. What you will see will look a little bit differently. This is the instructor view. This calendar is subject to change, and any revision will be communicated to you first via email before being added to the calendar. Things do change as much as I have things prepared during the first semester. You can see right now we have first unit is up. The second unit will be up in the next several days. Just a brief overview of some of the things that you'll notice on here. Reading responses are always due on Tuesday. Activities are always due on Thursday. And then throughout the rest of the week, you'll have other activities or other assignments and submissions due. If it has this little check plus next to it, clicking on that will open up a link to the specific assignment. In addition to the course calendar, the other really important information on the Blackboard site is the syllabus. Clicking on this link will open up the syllabus for the class. Please note that this version of the syllabus is a bit different than the one I sent last week, so make sure to download the most current version. If it changes, I will let you know so that you can always have the most current version with you. Right now, I want to pause this walkthrough of the Blackboard site to talk about a few important sections of the syllabus. At the very top is my contact information, details about the course, including the CRN, and my office location and office hours. You'll notice that the office hours are TBA right now. That's because I will be hosting hybrid office hours. I will be in my office for those who want to meet with me, but I will also be on Skype for those who are not on campus or who would rather Skype with me to ask questions or whatever. I will send information about those office hours to you the first week of class. So right now it says TBA. I will update the syllabus once I have those hours figured out. Next, you'll see the course description, which offers details about the class, the theme and focus, as well as a word of warning about the pace and workload for the semester, and some information about kind of how to contact me. Read over this in detail as it'll kind of give you a sense of the feel for this class. Next is the required textbook. Our textbook is Elizabeth Thibault and Sam Draga's Essentials of Technical Communications, 3rd edition. The edition is important. Make sure that you're getting the 3rd edition. You can buy online or rent. It is available from University Bookstore, but Amazon has it for $54 or to rent from between $19 and $26. Do whatever makes the most sense for you financially. It doesn't matter as long as you have that third edition. Other readings will be available in the reading folder for each unit, which I'll go over here in a minute. There are 4 course units. On the syllabus, I've given a condensed description of each unit so that you can get a quick sense. Each unit module, which I'll take a look at in a second, has a far more detailed assignment sheet. You'll then see a breakdown of the points throughout the semester, as well as the grading scale that I will use, and some descriptions about how the course website will work. This section is on the goals of the class. Here you have some explanation of the required technologies we will be using and the different things that you'll need to have access to and the skills that you will need to be able to practice frequently. Here is a quick overview of the Writing Lab's online tutoring. Because this class is entirely online, I strongly recommend that you take advantage of the Writing Lab's online tutoring. There's 2 forms of it. Online tutoring, which is real-time individualized sessions, and then e-tutoring, which is non-synchronous. So you upload a document, and then during regular Writing Lab hours, a trained tutor will respond and give you feedback. Online tutorials are a great way to get feedback on a completed draft, to work through comments from me or your peers, to brainstorm ideas and get suggestions, or to just get another set of eyes on the document. This is not required, but it's something that I strongly recommend, since you will not have as many opportunities for face-to-face interaction with me. Finally, the policies and procedures for this class. I encourage you to go through them carefully, paying particular attention to participation, and the instructions for working ahead, and late work, as well as just the general kind of instructions for campus emergencies, accommodation and accessibility, discrimination, harassment, and other really important necessary information. I'll be happy to answer any questions or provide additional clarifications on these policies during the first week or during my hybrid office hours. Returning to Blackboard, the My Grades section of the course will be updated as new assignments are returned. I will email you to let you know when a grade becomes available. My view of this is very different than yours, so I can't show you exactly what it looks like, but it'll show you each grade and then the points for that grade. The next thing, this center kind of section, these are all critical information, kind of weekly information. So the first is the discussions. In addition to working on the major projects, each week you will post a reading response and complete one activity. All reading responses for the current unit can be found in the discussion forums. So here you can see the class introduction post that I mentioned earlier is here. And then you can see reading responses 1 through 3, which will be available to you. The rest will become available once we get to the additional units. Opening reading response number 1, you can see that to add a response, select the form that you want, and then click Create Thread to make your post. So each student's post will be a separate thread. To add a comment, you will see once people start adding threads, there will be numerous threads. You'll be able to click a blue reply button. You will be expected to make 3 posts for each reading response. 1, a post, and then 2 comments. If you aren't sure what to write, read the reading response guide, which I'll get to in a second, as well as the reading response section of the syllabus. As I said, you will also be completing one activity pretty much every week. The activities section of the Blackboard site contains all the activities for the current unit and will be updated throughout the semester. If you open the activities folder, you'll always see the current units. Each activity, I have included specific instructions, links to readings, references to where you can find other readings, for instance, the PDF found in the reading folders, etc., and then prompts for submitting your work. So I'll click Activity 1. You'll see the due date, the points, and then the detailed instructions, as well as the place where you can go to attach your files. Unless otherwise directed, please always attach files rather than using the Write Submission feature. That way I can keep track of your work and add comments as necessary. Activities are worth 20 points per unit, and that will be divided between 3 and 4 activities. So activity 1 is worth 5 points. Activity 2, I believe, is worth 10 points. So activity 3 will be worth 5 points. Okay. The next section is lectures. There's nothing in there right now. Once you see this lecture, obviously this lecture will be in there. The lectures for each unit will all be embedded YouTube videos in this lectures folder. I want to pause here for a minute to talk a bit about how I will use lectures in this class, because it's a bit different than what you might be used to. These are not lectures in the traditional sense. That is, the instructor talks for a long time, maybe goes through a PowerPoint slide by slide, and then you take a quiz or exam to gauge how well you were paying attention. Instead, I envision these as short walkthroughs that will help you navigate the resources and requirements for each unit. I will continue to use video screen capture just as I have for this first lecture, so that I can pull up Blackboard, open a reading, jump into the syllabus or assignment sheet, and yes, sometimes go through parts of a PowerPoint. But don't expect these to be long, boring, passive transmissions of knowledge directly from my brain to yours. If I pull up a PowerPoint or a reading, it will be to call your attention to important information with the expectation that you will then go through it on your own later on. The primary course content will be communicated through readings and PowerPoints, while the lectures will serve as supplementary video walkthroughs of these materials. Even though they're supplementary, they're still really, really important to give you additional information about how to kind of complete the projects. I'll typically try to end each video lecture with pro tips and suggestions that will clarify aspects of the assignment or project and give insights into my expectations and how I will be grading each project. The next section of the menu, you'll see all the different units. You'll only see Unit 1 to begin with. The other units will open up as we get there throughout the semester. Clicking on each one, you'll notice that the unit contains a number of pieces. First is the assignment sheet, which offers a detailed look at the project, including important instructions and the grade breakdown. Make sure you carefully read through the assignment sheet on the first day of each unit. The instructions and suggestions included here are absolutely essential for understanding what is expected of you during the unit. So clicking on this will open up the assignment sheet. I won't go over this in detail, but you can see it contains a lot of very, very critical information. The readings folder contains all the readings for that unit. These will be saved as PDFs or sometimes links, external links. I've also included when it's a reading from the textbook so that you're aware that that is something that you need to reference your textbook directly for. If you can't find where to submit something, or the links on the attachments are broken, or a reading is missing, please email me. I do my best to keep this up to date, but every now and then I'll forget or a link will be broken. You are still required to do those readings. I'll just add them on later on. So please let me know if something does not look as you expect it to. Next is the sample projects, which I've tried to collect sample projects for each assignment. I offer these to you not as templates to be followed strictly or examples of perfect A+ projects, but rather as models to give you inspiration and show one possible way to complete this assignment. The next folder contains the submission forms to actually submit each assignment with detailed instructions and deadlines for each of those. Then there's the PowerPoints folder, which contains the PowerPoints for each unit. And then finally is the link to the peer review. Peer review will play a critical role in all 4 units of this project. Every student has been randomly assigned to a peer review group for each unit. Clicking on this link will open up a folder accessible only by those students who have been assigned to each group. In this folder, you will see buttons to attach files, email the group, and then upload feedback to a discussion board that, again, only the students who are in that specific group will have access to. If you cannot access the peer review, please send me an email right away, as peer review is time sensitive. More details about peer review can be found in the peer review guide, which I'll go over here in a few minutes, as well as on the syllabus. In general, the structure for each unit folder will be very similar to this first unit, though there may be some minor differences depending on what we're doing during that particular unit. Again, if a link is broken or if something isn't there, please contact me right away. As I've mentioned a couple times, there are guides that are here to offer kind of supplementary information in case you're not sure how to do something. For instance, I just referenced the peer review guide. Opening that will give you a lot of information. Your view will look different, but a lot of information on how to complete peer review, how to use the different features within those peer review folders. Similarly, the reading response guide, which I think is perhaps the most important guide of the semester, will offer you my criteria for how I grade reading responses, strategies for writing a response, strategies for commenting, and then additional kind of information that will help you get the most out of reading responses. There's also one for collaboration, and I will add additional guides as needed throughout the semester. Whenever I add a new guide or revise an existing guide, I'll let you know in an email or an announcement. Okay. So that's it for the Blackboard walkthrough. If you aren't sure where to find something, send me an email or talk to me during my office hours. A lot of this information that is on here will answer many of the questions that you have. So if you aren't sure how to do something, check the syllabus first, then check the assignment sheet, then check the guides, check my weekly announcements. If you still can't find the information that you need, then send me an email. You can always contact me. I will be available for Skype by appointment and then during my hybrid office hours. If there are any questions or concerns or anything during the first week, please let me know, especially, again, if something isn't working on the Blackboard site. Best of luck during the first week of the semester.